Okay, so let's come to the mat. We're taking an easy end to our winning formulas week, and we're trusting what we know. That's what it all comes back to, is trusting ourselves. In any situation, on the mat, off it, trust yourself and what you know. We're not always sure of ourselves, but we're really on the mat in yoga. We try to learn to listen a little bit further inwards, a bit closer to the real self, and not those chattering monkeys, which are on the new blog if anybody's not looked at it yet. Okay, so we're taking Purna Khumbaka again this morning, just for a little bit of a breath practice. It's our way of bringing ourselves to where we are now, to the present, to the mat, to the room. So first of all, just notice your breath this morning. Find yourself in an easy Tadasana, but do find your posture. So we all know about our posture now. So find those points that I described normally. Trust yourself that you know what you're doing here. Find your posture, then notice your own breath without controlling it. Just notice. We know where to find our breath now. We know where it can travel to this week. We've practiced our 360 degrees. We know our front body, our back body, our side bodies all have space in them. So when you're ready, begin just with an inhale, exhale, your count of 4. Trying to find that whole 360 breath again if you can. First couple of breaths might feel a little bit tight. Gently move into the areas that aren't quite giving you the space this morning. So think about where it seems sticky. It might be a side body. Might be the back of your shoulders if they're a bit tense. Usually that's the reason the breath can't move. It's because we're tensing and tight in those areas. So find the area that's tight and try and move it gently with a nudge with your breath. And letting it soften with the exhale. And then you can either choose to continue just inhale, exhale, or you can come with me and hold for 2 after the inhale, trying to gather a little bit of energy and hold it. So inhale that energy. Just pause for 2, holding it gently within you, not gasping, not crunching, and then exhale, let it go. So it's a very soft retention. It's not a hold on thing. Inhale again and hold if you're going to. And exhale, do 3 more on your own, just finding your own way with that breath, or just inhaling, exhaling. Trust what you want to do this morning, trust what you know about yourself. And then when you come to the end of the next exhale, let go of the breath. And just feel that space you've made inside you already. Maybe it gives you more space to be yourself. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of movements here just to warm up. So we're thinking of our Sun Salutation, very, very soft modified version this morning. So we're just going to soften the knees, breathe in, open up, take the arms above the head, just gentle, don't stretch too far. Try and make it a little bit bigger each time, just reaching a little bit more through your feet, up through your tummy, up through your shoulders, through your crown. Just do 2 or 3 softening and lifting. Feel the side bodies, feel that space between your ribs and your pelvis appear as you raise up through. Find the space and the width in the back of your shoulders as you're raising your arms. And then come to a standstill in Tadasana again. Let's just take a couple of gentle side bends. So inhale the left arm up, not too long, and exhale gently over in a side bend. Armpit slides down the side body. Just a light, easy side bend this morning. Right hand up, same thing. Make it quite gentle. Don't reach too far. Soften over on your exhale to your side bend. Feel the balance in the feet. Connecting. Take it a little bit further this time on your side bend, so just lengthen a little bit more up through the left side body, and then over towards your right. There we go, a little bit further, but not too far. Don't feel unbalanced. So you want to feel that you've still got that connection to your feet. Inhale the right arm up a little bit longer through the feet up to the middle fingers. Draw the tummy in. Exhale over to the left. Find that armpit hip sliding down. Come back up to the top and comes down. This time we're going to come up with our left arm. We're going to stay there and we're going to go into Bananasana. So first of all, take your right hand, clasp your left wrist, just gently come into that side bend again. So we're just moving the side armpit to hip movement there. And then come back up to the top. And then cross your feet if you're comfortable. You can stay there with your feet if you're more supported. If you want to try it, take your left foot and pop it on the other side of your right foot. It won't go exactly parallel unless you're completely bendy. So we've crossed our inner thighs, we really feel like squeezing them. Rotate your hips again slightly forward, so draw that left hip back, and then think of moving over to the right side. So inhale first, find some length, and then take it over to the right side, armpit to hip. Really big stretch, so hold there and breathe. So this is Bananasana, standing up. Make sure your tummy's nice and engaged and your bottom's tucked under and your shoulders are going back rather than forward. And this stretches out the whole of one side of the body, so you should feel this, but it's also working on your inner thighs and both legs. You should feel it through both hips. But watch you're not kicking one hip out. We're still thinking of armpit to hip on the right side. Nice big stretch to open this morning, and then when you're ready, press into your right and left foot at the same time and then come back up to the top, unclasp and twist, and we're going the other way. But just before you do, close your eyes if you can, or take a focal point, and just feel the difference between your right and your left side. Notice any changes, notice any slight imbalance in energies. So we'll balance that up now. So first of all, take your right arm up, take a little side bend again, take your left arm up, clasp the wrist or the elbow, no, not the elbow, sorry, the forearm. If it's a little bit easier, you can keep that elbow bent if it's too strong for you this morning. Make sure whatever we're doing that we're rolling that top shoulder back and we're tucking our tummy in our bottom. Feeling the weight in both feet, and then come back up to the top. And then we're crossing our legs if you're going to take the legs as well into Bananasana. Find your hips rotating forward again slightly. Draw up through the crown and through the hands, and then take your side bend to the left. So think of armpit sliding rather than folding at the waist. So the hips are really nice and stable here. Should feel a big opening now between your right ribs and your right pelvis. Press into both feet, see if you can get a little bit more energy up through. So this again opens up all the lower body meridians that we spoke about like Yin on Wednesday night. This is one of those poses that actually every meridian is being worked on. So your inner thighs, so think of squeezing them and pushing into your feet to connect. Your outer body, you can feel that already on both sides. And then the front and back of the legs. So gently just push into the feet and see if you can straighten without locking knees. See if you can straighten up the front and back of the legs. Feel that move into the back of the hips. And then come back up to the top. Take the arms down, uncross the legs. Close the eyes or find your focal point. Just come into Tadasana. Feel the difference now. See if there's a balance now in the energy. That fizzy feeling I always experience it as. You may be different. Okay, so then we're going to move again. We're going to come into forward folds. But as we do this, we're going to think of doing it in 3 stages. So your first forward fold might just be here. And then the next one might be lower down. So don't throw yourself straight into a forward fold this morning. So we're taking the arms up above the head and then tucking the tummy, tucking the chin and rolling down just into a soft forward fold. Soften the feet. Let the arms roll down through and then roll back up through from the feet back up to the top. Keep that tummy engaged. Maybe put a little back bend in if you feel like it to open up. And then go down again on the exhale, a little bit further this time. Take the tailbone back a little bit further, soften the knees a little bit more. Back up. Down again, see how far you feel like going this time. So just do it in your own time, just moving slowly. Don't forget to tuck the tummy. You might be feeling like you want to start swaying your arms up behind you as if we were doing birds. So if you feel like that, take the arms a little bit further. Start moving through the shoulders, lift the arms up, feel the bottom raise with the arms and feel that on the back of your hamstrings. So take it slowly, we don't want to pull anything. Back up. And then the next one, we're going to find ourselves down at the bottom. So find your full forward fold. Might be really bent legs this morning, but find the floor with your hands wherever you are. Oops, I'm going to come sideways. And then we're going to walk our hands forward and come into a very soft Ardha Uttanasana, down dog. So very soft. So we've got our hands supporting us as if there was a door stuck in front of us. So push into the hands to find that rebound up through the shoulders. Knees are soft and you're probably up on your toes. So here we are, tuck the tummy, lift it up to support the lower back and find that long front and back body, and then just start to walk the dog. Nice and slowly. Opening up the back of the feet. Sorry if nobody knows what that means. It's dropping your heel one at a time. Just rolling through the feet, rolling through the back of the legs. Come to a standstill. I'm going to walk the feet towards the hands this time. So walk the feet in. Find yourself back in your really soft forward fold. When you're ready, we're going to take we're going to come up, so you can roll up or you can swing up, whichever you feel this morning. So if you're coming up with me, push into your feet, swing your hands forward in a big semicircle, draw up, hands above the head, and then roll back down again. Come back down into your forward fold, hands to the floor, walk the feet back again into down dog. You might can go a little bit further this time, might can open your legs a little bit further. Don't lock knees, you might can take your feet a bit closer to the floor. And then we're just going to wiggle our hips. So we're just going to soften the knees and let the knees and the hips move from side to side. So there's a kind of twisting going on at your waist here. You're rotating a little bit on the balls of your feet. And just opening up the sides of the waist, the back of the hips. Keeping your tummy engaged. Keeping that connection with your hands. Don't let everything go on your shoulders. Have a little bit of a wiggle through there. And then drop the knees and come down to the floor into tabletop. And then we're going to push up again into down dog. So when you're ready, tuck the toes, lift the knees as we did the other day. We're not holding, we're taking the sit bones right back up towards that back corner. And then we're going to walk the feet back towards the front and come into our soft forward fold. From here, we're going to go into our half forward fold, which is when we straighten our legs like a hangman. So everybody do this with me this morning. Pop your hands to your thighs. I know we normally take them a little bit further down maybe, but put them onto the thighs. You're still in forward fold. Gently press into your hands. Roll the sit bones back out and up towards the back corner. Straighten the legs without locking the knees. Come into your bottom half of your half forward fold, and then think about your crown. Draw the crown out and up until you feel a nice long back body. Maybe take your elbows in towards your body, so really engage the upper arms and shoulders, find that strength there. And then soften again at the knees and come back down through to your forward fold. This time we're going to go half fold. But you can either pop your hands again to your thighs or to your shins. So you decide. So half fold, whichever way you want this morning. Same thing, roll up through the bottom, lift it up towards the back corner. Open the legs without locking the knees. Feel your weight move more into your heels. Draw the tummy up then and open up the front body by rolling through the spine, up through towards your chin. Then tuck the chin and lengthen the back of the neck. And then soften again back into your forward fold. We won't go any further than that this morning. Okay, so then we're going to breathe in and we're going to sweep our arms out, round and up, and come back up from forward fold, back up to the top. Take your time. Might get a little bit dizzy when we're going up and down this morning because you haven't eaten this morning. So do remember to feed your eyes along the floor if you do feel that at all. Okay, so how do you feel now? Do you feel a little bit more warmed up? Hopefully. Right, so we're going to go into a very easy version of Sun Sal this morning. Excuse me. We're just taking low lunges. We won't be doing cobra and plank, so we'll be doing low lunges instead, and then lizard, and then an option of pigeon, but we'll go into that in a second. Okay, so at front of the mat, everybody, we're going to try this on the breath to start with, but at the beginning we'll be doing, instead of side bends, we'll be doing swaying palm tree, which is this one. So swaying palm tree, have a go at it. What you're going to watch is, you're going to not, it is swaying, so your hips can move a little bit in this, a little bit like we did in down dog. Your hips can move a bit with you, as opposed to when we do side bends, everything stays still. Swaying palm tree does what it says in the tin. So don't try and just move the upper body, or you might do some damage to the lower back. Let everything go with it. Okay, so we're at the front of the mat in Tadasana. Breathe in, arms come above the head. Stay there. We take swaying palm tree to the right, and then swaying palm tree to the left. And then we come into a forward fold. So take the hands back, soften the knees, come down to your forward fold. We're coming into half fold. Put your hands where you feel you need to be this morning. Lift out into half fold, reach through the crown. Forward fold back down, hands come to the floor. We're stepping back with our right foot, gently, carefully, and coming down to low lunge. Now you can have your knee forward or further back. You decide how far you want to go at this point. We're going to do it a few times, so you might stretch out slowly. And we're just holding and breathing here, getting a nice bit of a stretch through our inner thighs and through our hip flexor. And then we're tucking the back toe and tucking the back toe, and we're stepping back with the front foot into down dog. So we're going to press into the hands, lift that front foot, and move it back into down dog. Getting soft down dog. So have a little play with your feet. And then we're taking the left foot forward. So you have to lift the left foot and lift the right foot forward. Sorry, lift the right hand and move the right foot into position. Come back down into your low lunge. Have a little play with that. Decide where you want your back knee. You might want to do a little rocking there just to open up a little bit. And then we're going to step forward. So tuck the back toe again. Step forward this time into a forward fold. Find your half fold, lifting out as you inhale, opening out the front and back body. Tucking that chin, remember, down into forward fold. Back up to the top with the hands. Swaying palm tree again here. And then back down into Tadasana. Okay, so we'll take that one again, and this time we're going to bring the foot forward and we're going to move into lizard, but we'll go into low lunge and then move into lizard. So it's the same thing, and then we'll change it up. Okay, so inhale up. Exhale down into half fold, forward fold, into half fold, which is, sorry, forgot swaying palm tree, into half fold, we'll do it next time, into forward fold, step back with the right foot, come down into low lunge, move your left hand now inside your left foot and wiggle your left foot out a little bit so that your left arm is on, your left hand's under your left shoulder, right hand's under your right shoulder. Your left foot slightly feels this outside. It's towards the outside of the mat. We're into lizard. So you can stay here and just enjoy that change it up here. You can still have the back knee under you if you don't want to stretch out. And also, if you want to go a little bit further, you can roll out onto the edge of the left foot and let that inner thigh stretch. And feel the hip open. And don't forget to lengthen through the back of the neck and lift that tummy at the same time. We're not all letting go. So big hip stretch there. Then roll the foot back to the floor. Lift the left hand, shuffle that left foot back towards the middle. Come back into your low lunge position at the front there. So the left ankle is under the left knee. Tuck the back toe, come up and come back into down dog. Having a nice big stretch out through and see if you can get your heels rolling a little bit closer now to the mat. And then we're going to lift the right leg and we're going to step forward into low lunge. So be careful everybody, move the right hand, come down onto the floor. So the right foot's in front now, same thing. Move the right hand into the middle. Walk the right foot outwards until you feel that you're centered again, shoulders over wrists. And then if you want to, you can roll that right foot onto the outside edge and into lizard. Lizard is foot to the floor. I'm just extending it by rolling the foot out. So it's a bigger stretch than you'll find through your hip. If you don't want to do that, you can stay in lizard or in low lunge. Okay, so then roll the foot in, lift the right hand, shuffle that right foot back to the middle, tap the back toe, step forward into forward fold. Find your half fold of your choice, might even have got down to the floor with your hands now. Reach out and then roll down again into forward fold. Swing your arms up like big angel wings. Come back up to the top. Take your time with your eyes, remember. Swing into swinging palm tree. And then arms, hands together, maybe through heart center. Come back down into Tadasana. So it's a very easy, flowy kind of sun salutation. Okay, we'll take the last bit, and this time the option is at low lunge to come into pigeon. Follow my cues if you do. If we come into pigeon, if you don't like it, we're going to come in through, are we? Yeah, we can come in through child's pose sort of position if you want. And if you don't want to come into pigeon, instead of taking the knee forward, you can take the other leg back and just, it's a version of pigeon this way, but your knee is folded and your foot's under your bottom. So if taking your knee out isn't what you want to do this morning, go into that one. Okay, back to the front of the mat, up and down. Okay, let's do this. Arms up. Let's remember swaying palm tree this time. Over to your right and over to your left. And down to forward fold on the exhale. We inhale then into half fold of your choice. And we exhale down into soft forward fold. We step back with the right foot. Come down into low lunge. Have a bit of a stretch out there. And then we're taking that left foot, we're coming back now into child's pose. So long extended child's pose. So swing the left foot back and you'll come into child's pose. And then we're coming back up into tabletop, and from here we're going into pigeon with the left knee. So the left knee, we're going to take it to the outside of the mat, outside of the left hand. That's really important. So we sway back and we bring the knee out, bent, to the outside of the mat beside the left hand. Then think looking under and taking that right foot back as far as is comfortable. If you've chosen the other position, you'll be in it already, just stretching the right leg back. But everybody think moving that right leg back as far as is comfortable, but really feeling that right hip flexor open. If you're taking pigeon then, you want to sink down slightly over onto your left hip and move your left foot forward to whatever's comfortable for you. You may keep it under you, you may can bring it right up. It's not about the knee, and that's something we've got to realize here. Flex the foot though to stop that knee torquing. So you can stay up in pigeon, you can hold here. We won't bother supporting us with bricks at the moment, we're not going to be here long. And that may be enough for you. You may really feel, here's where you should be feeling it, under the left hip. If you walk back a little bit further, you'll feel it a little bit more. And breathe. Let's not come down this morning. Let's just stay up. Use that body weight to sink through the left hip and feel that opening. If you've gone into this and you don't like it or it's hurting your knee, please change by swiveling that foot under, coming into the opposite, the other option. So Pigeon is a great one. It's a nice one to stay in. So you might want to go back to this after practice and just feel that you're warmed up enough to open up through your hips. We're not stopping very long here, so let's just move that front foot by pressing into the hands, lifting off the front leg and bringing it back into tabletop. And then we're going to sway back and we're going to take the right leg forward into low lunge again, and then tuck the back toes, come forward into half fold, into forward fold, come into half fold, come into forward fold, sway back up, trace your eyes along the floor slowly, remember, back up, swaying palm tree. And then hands together, heart center, back into Tadasana. We'll do the other side now. So when you're ready, we'll go straight away. Arms up above the head. Swaying palm tree. You might go the other way this time in the swaying palm tree to start, might not. And then forward fold. Tuck the tummy, find some space, soften the knees, hands to the floor or your thighs or your shins, and into half fold. Might be there already if you want to do it in the breath and I'm talking too much. And then into forward fold, and we're stepping back with the left leg this time, and we're coming down to low lunge. Feel that nice big stretch again in low lunge. We're pressing into the hands, lifting that front foot and rocking it round into tabletop, and then sinking ourselves back into extended child's pose. And then we're coming up and we're taking the right knee forward this time into pigeon, or in child's pose, you're just extending that left leg. So you're using your right knee bend this time. If you're coming into pigeon, come up, rock forward, take that right knee to the outside of the mat, outside of the right hand. Take it right forward if you can. Then press into the hands, and if you want to adjust that front leg, my leg won't turn, but it's not supposed to, then that's what I've learned here. Don't try and do what you think you should do. Do what your body wants to do and needs to do. And then walk that back foot back as far as is comfortable. Everybody walk the foot back. Sink down if you can, those in pigeon, onto your right hip a little bit more. So get that stretchy sensation happening in the back of your right hip. Staying upwards, and then think of rolling the chest forward. This is called pigeon. So think of a chest of a pigeon. So you're rolling your chest forward. Kapotanasa. Ekaraja. Kapotanasa, if you want the full version. And then you should feel that sensation slowly builds in the back hip. This is one of the wonderful positions of yoga, but it's also the one that most people try to avoid. So it's one worth playing with in your own time, and it can be done as a yin posture, so you don't need to warm up, but you may find an edge and then have to work into a further position of it. It won't happen all at once. Again, big hip opener. Okay, so then we're going to press into the hands, lift off that front knee, come back into child's pose. Have a little stretch out through the back of the body, reach the hands away. Come back up, tuck the back toes, come up into down dog. Have a bit of a stretch through the back of the legs, through the front of the arms, or the underarm rather, and then walk the feet forward, back into our forward fold. Find your half fold again, lifting up, reaching through. Changed it up a bit this morning, quite good for the brain sometimes to change things. It's nice to do things we do know, but back into forward fold. And then back up to the top, slowly. Find your swaying palm tree on the other side this time. So I go left, I always go right, so I'm going left this time. Hands back into heart center, draw them down through, back into Tadasana. Have a breath or two there. And then we're going to slowly roll down and bring ourselves to the floor just for a little bit of a cool down here. Won't take long. Bring yourself slowly down to the floor, slowly onto your back. Let's finish our week nice and easily on our back. No gravity forcing us. So you might want to stretch out there, otherwise bring your right knee into your chest, left knee into your chest. We're coming into Uttanasana, but take your hands and pop them on your kneecaps. So fingers facing down towards your ankles. And then we're just going to draw our knees towards us and then take the hips outwards. So the big toes come towards each other, but the knees go out in a circle. And then circle downwards the length of your arms and then bring the knees together, take the feet out. Draw your knees back in then, so circling and moving the lower leg if you can in a kind of wavy effect. So take those circles in your own time now. Think of really doing them as big as you can, move into bigger circles so that you can feel your shoulders really getting involved in this movement. Don't worry if your toes and things do the wrong thing, just think of massaging off shoulders and hips. And then going the other way. So toes together as your knees go out the other way, and then knees together. Oops, the brain's not working this morning. Quite difficult to do that one. It's a bit like patting my head and rubbing my tummy. Don't think too much if it confuses you. The world's confusing enough without confusing ourselves. And then feet to the floor, one at a time. Stretch your legs away from you. Then come into Bananasana on your right side. So walk your right your feet to the right rather. Your body stays still at the hips. And then you might lift your shoulders slightly, but you really want to just take your arms over, your shoulders over towards your right. So everything's curving to the right, but the middle of you is still going up and down. So you might find your left sides kind of come off the floor here. So try and just gently draw back down a little bit and feel that stretch move around your body. Might want to hold wrists, you might want to cross ankles, take it as far as you feel you want to. Have a nice big stretch through your heels. Feel it stretching through your abdominal muscles. And then release, walk back to center, find the other side. So you shouldn't feel like you're rolling over too much here. You should feel as if you've drawn that right side back down a little bit. So the stretch will move then. It might be that you found more comfort by rolling over a little bit. Try and draw back down so that you open up the whole of the right side body. Press away through the heels. That big armpit stretch. And then walk back to center. I was going to do legs up the wall, but we haven't got time. So just come into Shavasana now. We haven't done too much heavy work this morning, so cooling down isn't really an issue. I've just warmed up enough, given myself enough energy to look forward to the weekend, hopefully. But just one or two last thoughts on our winning formulas. Remember, it's not all about getting to the finishing line, and we do tend to push ourselves to try and get to finishing lines. And somebody keeps moving those finishing lines. Every time you think you've got to the finishing line, something else comes into it and the line moves another 100 meters away from you. When you look at it, the person moving that line isn't anybody else, it's you. You're the one that makes your finishing line. So don't push yourself too far or too fast. You are the winning formula. You've got everything you need. Trust what you've got. Believe in yourself. And know that it's not about getting to that finishing line. It's getting to where you want to go. Take a couple of breaths now, just to finish. We've gone over again. Sorry, but that's me this week. So obviously time's gone out the window. I'll never get to my finishing line. But take a few breaths in your own time and sigh them out if that's what you feel you need to do. Let go of any excess energy you don't need. Just find that balance. You've had a nice week. You should be feeling nicely balanced. And now that the chattering monkeys are starting to jump into your head, no doubt, You're thinking about moving, so have a stretch, move your fingers, toes, whatever you need to do to just get ready to move and come onto your side. Take a couple of breaths there. Open your eyes, reconnect visually with what's around you, and then gently bring yourself up. Back to cross leg to finish our week again. So I don't know if anybody's read the Chattering Monkeys blog. I'm not pushing it too far, but I did do it because one of you asked me about all these thoughts popping into our heads. So it's a little bit linked to this week, and it's also got a video on YouTube that I did ages ago, in France actually, of a breath practice that you might find helpful from what we've done this week. Okay, so thank you everybody. You're a winning bunch in my opinion. Well done for getting there to the end of this week. Now the line moves again and we start again. So thank you for your practice. Have a really happy weekend in the sunshine and see you Monday. Namaste.